So what I'd like to do in this video is introduce you to Theory U. There is a vast resource of what Theory U means, where it's from, how it's applied. And for those really interested, I would encourage you to do so because it's well worth it. So do look up the work of Otto Scharmer from the Presencing Institute. They also do huge online communities using Theory U called ULab. So a bunch of resources should you wish to look for more. What I'm going to do here is just introduce a way of using Theory U to give a context and an application for mentoring. Okay, so what Theory U broadly is saying is that we start with our current situation, or typically a challenge. Yeah, so something that we want to change. And we want to get to a solution. So let's call it a better place, somewhere that's not here. Now, what often happens, naturally so, is that people want to go from here to here as quickly as possible. This is usually uncomfortable. So let's get to the solution as soon as possible. What Theory U is saying is that there's a process by which we reach that, achieve that, as you'll see, can be more innovative, sustainable, engaging. So what Theory U is saying is, first of all, we need to explore what really is the situation, what really is the challenge. What's another way of looking at it? If you're in a group or a team of people, it's like, what do you think, and what do you think, and what do you think? Okay, what's your perspective? What else haven't you thought about? Who else is involved? These kinds of questions. So when you've really explored what's current, what's been going on, then there's the opportunity to reflect. In Theory U language, this is presencing. This is pausing to tune into where am I now, having done all this exploration, but also where am I going? Sometimes referred to what's the emerging future. Okay, so this is a pause, this is a moment, this is a space, and what can happen is that something new comes from that space. So on this side, we then are able to create something new. And if you're doing it with one or more others, then it's co-create. Okay, for me, it's also co-creating with that future that wants to emerge. So, a couple of things to notice with this. One is that here, we typically start in the head. We're usually thinking about what we usually think about. So, what am I thinking? What are you thinking? How do you see it? Then it's the heart. So what do I feel about that? What do you feel about that? What emotions does that evoke? And then we come down into the will, or the gut. So that deeper sense, that deeper presencing that goes below simply what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling, but what's really going on. So we drop down from the head to the heart, into the gut, if you like. And as we're doing so, what's happening is there is a process of letting go. There's a letting go what I've been thinking, what I've been feeling. And this creates that space here for something new to emerge. So this is letting in, or letting come, it's sometimes called. Now, I find this useful in mentoring in couple of ways. One is I don't have to rush to the solution. So there is patience. There is taking my time to get to where we're going without having to know the solution in advance. The solution comes out through this process. The solution emerges. I should also point out, sometimes the solution isn't the final solution. Over here, we prototype. We try things out, we experiment, we learn. And then we go through this again, and we go through it again until we derive at the solution that we really want. The other thing, so there's patience. And the other thing I find is that this, coming down to here, might take up 80 or 90% of the conversation. Because this is the letting go, this is the hard bit. It can feel a bit sticky. It's like, well, I don't know. So having the patience to come down here, and then afterwards, this can actually be really rapid. Coming up with new ideas, new possibilities, new commitments, that might be even in the last 10 or 5% of the conversation. So this is very intuitive and practical. Give it a go, see what happens, and then you can prototype your own way of bringing this into your conversations as you come back up from the presencing into the heart, into the head, and what you're going to do next.